Let's do this. The Cult of Hockey podcast by the faithful and for the faithful. I'm David Staples of the Edmonton Journal, and I'm here tonight with Bruce McCurdy. Welcome, Bruce.
Hey, David.
And we just watched a very exciting hockey game. I thought it was a very exciting hockey game. The Oilers lost in overtime. What was it, 6-5?
6-5.
6-5. And I'm always more focused on scoring chances than I am on the goals. I generally know who won. But so, Bruce, let's just go right into our two good things, two bad things, and two numbers podcast. What's your good thing?
Well, in the larger picture, the good thing was how exciting the game was and how the Stars came out to play and really put on a great show for the fans at Rogers Palace. Among those stars tonight was Leon Draisaitl stepping up to the plate and delivering by far his best game of the season. And that showed both on the stats page and on the scoreboard, where he scored 2 goals and was a plus player for the first time in one forever. It's a big statement game from Leon. I thought he held his own and then some. He got burned on one occasion, but like I say, he got the 2 goals and chipped in a little bit on a third one, shooting the puck. And man, he's got a good release. You know, he had to twice beat the goalie outright, and the third time he forced one of Matt Murray's best saves of the game, and Murray had a few of them.
Yeah, right at the end there, near the end of the game on the power play, the puck came in tight to Draisaitl, but he still got off that wicked shot that almost won the game with just a few minutes left on the power play. Yeah, he did have that one bad moment defensively. He can't seem to get through a game without making a mistake on an even strength goal. He and Nurse both got caught out on that particular goal. But Draisaitl finally looked like Leon Draisaitl, like cruising around dangerous, looking dangerous, leading his line. Whoever was on his line, Reeder really, and we'll get into this in a second, but Reeder, I thought Puljujarvi looked fine on the line and Chason looked fine on the line. So Draisaitl was the real force on that line.
Yes.
So it's about time. I mean, it's 7 games into the season. Took him a while to wake up, but he finally did, and that was definitely a good thing. Bruce, my good thing is the play of the Oiler newcomers. And I was particularly impressed with Cooper Marody, but this includes Tobias Reeder, Marody, Alex Chason, and Kevin Gravel on defense. I was least impressed with Gravel. He made a few mistakes, but he looked at least like an NHL defenseman. To me, he skates well, he's big, he makes plays. Garrison, I just don't know how he made the team out of training camp, honestly. And he just never looked like he was close to being up to speed to play the NHL game. Whereas Gravel looks to me like, give this guy time and he can be a decent third pairing defenseman for the Oilers this year. Tobias Reeder was he's got a funny style of skating. He looks like he's kind of burrowing into the ice. He's kind of low down to the ice, moving forward fast. But he was he contributed to 5 scoring chances, didn't make a mistake on 1 against Bruce. So that's a pretty good night for a winger. And I thought he looked really strong with Draisaitl all night. And he's fast, he's really aggressive. He really works. And that's always kind of something that you like to see in a player. Chason, of course, scored the 2 goals and just one fantastic play where he smashed that guy in the corner and came out, put the puck on net, got the rebound and put it in. I mean, what a great 4th line goal that was. And it earned him a promotion then to the Draisaitl line.
Honestly, David, that may be one of the top 5 first goals as an Oiler I've ever seen from somebody. You know, the very first goal that he scored for the team. I mean, first of all, that reverse, what do they call it, the filthy shoulder that he gave Buddy in the corner, knocked him on his ass. But then he comes out, he shoots from a bad angle, the puck pops in the air, and somehow he lunges, pulls the puck down while falling away from it. Literally, his entire body is in the midair. The closest thing to the ice is probably his rear end. And he just kind of swats at the puck and he dings it in off the iron. I mean, wow. Just sensational. Like, I don't care who scores that goal. That's a lifetime highlight reel kind of a goal. And good on him to make an impression in just his, I think, second game. Right? He played Saturday, the game I missed.
I liked him as a minor league player because I'd see him play for, I can't remember, was it Dallas's franchise in the minor leagues? But anyway, he was a good minor league player. I've always liked his game. He's a hustler. He hits.
Big
But
guy. He's got a lot of game.
the player that I like the most, Bruce, and I couldn't believe how much I liked his game, was Cooper Marody. Every time he touched the puck, he seemed to know exactly what to do with it, make a good play. He looked calm. He looked smart. He looked exactly like a decent NHL winger. And he hadn't looked that good in training camp, but he's one of these players, I think, who thinks the game at a really high level. He knows exactly where to go on the ice. He's very skilled. He's got good hands. He was in on 3 scoring chances, and in a big way. He was one of, he was right in the middle of those chances. And Bruce, this guy looks like a NHL winger. Like
that pass he slipped through to Lucic was first rate.
Yes.
And he played just a couple seconds below 10 minutes, and he had 4 shot attempts, 2 on goals, and 2 takeaways. Like, he was aggressive on the puck, which is something we noticed throughout training camp, was how this guy battles on the puck. And I know you and I have been high on the guy pretty much since the trade was made, and every subsequent viewing we've had him, from Michigan to Bakersfield to training camp to now in his first NHL regular season game. All he's done is up the ante, really. I really like the quote they said about the Oilers. Said, well, they gave him a one-way ticket, and it's up to him to prove he doesn't need another one going back to Bakersfield. I mean, the door should be open.
Yeah. I liked his game, and we'll see how if he can keep doing that. I could see him playing with like as kind of the third wheel with Nugent Hopkins and McDavid fairly quickly, because Yamamoto is not really doing it for me, honestly.
I like Yamamoto's game pretty good tonight myself.
Yeah, he's okay. I mean, he terrible giveaway, Bruce, there that almost led to a goal against, and could well have, and that would have been the game, I think.
Potentially. Potentially. Yeah, rookie mistake there for sure.
So no, I'm not loving Yamamoto's game because of mistakes like that. Although there was some good things in his game. I'm not saying there isn't. It's like Puljujärvi. There's good things and then there's bad things too, right? Like
three block shots. I think that ties him with how many Cassian had all last year. At least he knows how to get in the shooting lane. At least he knows how to aggressively challenge for a puck. Like, he's got a great defensive stick. That's what I actually like about Yamamoto, is how hard he competes without the puck.
So the thing, Bruce, I'll go to what I didn't like, and what I didn't like is the Oilers, I think, gave away a point in this game. They were the better team. They dominated the game from the second period on. And they outchanced them great in terms of grade A chances. There was a ton of grade A chances, 18-13. This is like World Hockey Association hockey, wide open, which was so much fun to watch. But the Oilers just kept giving away. They just bonehead mistakes, kept giving away goals. They just couldn't hold the lead, even though they were getting more chances. Pittsburgh's goalie, Murray, was really strong in the nets, really strong. And they just, I just felt like in the end, like, man, right down to the last goal where Strome got deked out of his shorts there. Like, you just take the body. And I know it's Sidney Crosby. He's got all kinds of moves, but he wasn't going very fast in that moment. And it just was one mistake after another. And I just feel like, yeah, they got a point. I'm glad they got a point, but they really deserved 2, and they gave one away, and I didn't like that. What's your bad thing, Bruce?
Yeah, I'm just reflecting on it. I'm going to go with Cam Talbot and his mediocre performance in nets on a night they needed better. You mentioned Matt Murray. He allowed 5 goals on 46 shots, while Cam Talbot allowed 6 on 31. I mean, that's barely an .800 save percentage. And now, granted, some of those were bang-bang plays, but they kept finding holes. Oleksiak jammed one, basically went right through his legs on the doorstep. Like, you just got to seal the bottom of the net. That's goaltending 101. And that didn't happen. Then there was one right after that by Hornqvist, that went between his blocker arm and his body, again from close range, but there was a hole there, and he found a hole inside the goalie. It wasn't like he picked the corner. He shot the puck into the middle of the net and went through and in. Then he punted out a rebound on Hornquist's second goal, the one that got kind of kicked in. That's a little tougher on the goal. But the one I really hated was a huge fat rebound he punted right into the slot for Oleksiak in the third period. This is after the Oilers had come back, outshot Pittsburgh 9-0 early in the third period, scored 2 goals to take the lead. And if I'm not mistaken, the first shot was the one he kicked into the slot, and the second one tied the game. And that was it. That was the last time the Oilers were ahead. And he did make some saves. It's not like he let in every shot. He stopped Sid on a breakaway. He made some good stuff, but you need more. I mean, NHL goalies need to stop 3 out of 4 out of the prime scoring chances. And Pittsburgh had 13 chances, and 6 of them wound up in the back of the net.
You're right. Grade A chances go in 25% of the time. So there was 13 of them. So I only faulted him myself. The other ones you could always see why it went in. Like, right. It was a chance in tight, or it was totally screened. But that big rebound, I mean, it was someone put the puck from the corner and he just kicked it right into the slot. Like, that to me is a concentration thing. Like, that shouldn't happen. Like that's a mental mistake by the goalie that resulted in a goal against. And he just, whereas Murray was making those big saves, he was not.
And even the winner, I mean, it was Sid one-on-one, and you can't, that's not all on the goalie, obviously, because he got there with the puck in the first place. But Talbot left a space between his glove and his pad, and guess where Sid put the shot, right? Right, basically through a hole within the goalie's, frame. Like, shots that pick the corners, I'm willing to give full credit for, but ones that hit the sort of target area of the goalie and still find a hole and go in. That was 3 of them tonight.
So let's go to my stat, and my stat is 6, which is the number of mistakes on scoring chances, grade A scoring chances against from Zach Kassian tonight. And Bruce, 4 of those chances were part of the sequences of pain on goals against, and on 3 of them, Kassian made the main mistake. So let's go through them. The first was the power play goal that the Pittsburgh Penguins scored, where Kassian and Brodziak allowed a cross seam play, and you just can't have that. And it's just brought back memories of last year with Kassian doing that constantly, like getting sieved on the cross seam pass, he and Letestu.
That was a slow pass. Like, there's no way a pass it. I mean, Kessel just kind of cuffed it out and it went right across the Royal Road, and both forwards missed it, and the puck was quickly in the net after that.
The next one is Pittsburgh's 3rd goal, and Kassian gets the puck on the boards. And he just, instead of holding it or eating it or putting it harder on the boards, he just kind of dumps it off to the Penguins player behind the net. Who intercepts the pass, and bang, it's out front and it's a goal. And other players were at fault also, but Kassian really didn't give, like Russell sprawled and Nurse got caught out of position and Brodziak didn't cover his man. But I mean, Kassian was fundamentally far more to blame than any of them, just with a bad turnover to a guy in a dangerous position. The third one, the puck comes around the boards to him. I think Larson passed it to him in his own zone, and Kassian, like, he just stands there. He loses the battle. He doesn't go to the puck. He doesn't protect it, and the Penguins keep it in, and they get this point shot that ends up tipped on net, and they put it in. And finally, the Pittsburgh's last tying goal, was this point shot from Oleksiak, and you might remember, Bruce, a certain hockey fan was bullish on Jamie Oleksiak.
I was going to mention. He had a pretty big game tonight. He had a fight. He had 2 goals. He was highly noticeable. But
Kassian, he just lost Oleksiak on that play. He just was, again, and this is Zach Kassian, lack of concentration, not thinking. And you just can't have a game like that.
Well, honestly, David, he's among the worst players. Among the worst players. Well, he did chip in a little bit on one of the the Oiler goal. So he's going to get away from the brutal one tonight, but he's down in that territory. I'll just say that much. He's just so inattentive at filling passing or shooting lanes. Like, he seems to be utterly clueless about positioning in the defensive zone. That's a killer for a fourth line player. It's just a killer. And you gave him a major on 3 of the goals and a minor on the 4th one. Well, on that one, that was the play where Larson, I think it was, dumped the puck around the boards to him. And it was kind of a slow pass. I think it was Clefbaum, maybe. It was a bit of a slow pass. Like, it wasn't getting to him fast. And I'll bet you teach your kids in minor hockey that on a slow pass coming towards you, you move towards the puck and into the puck. And even if you have to take it backwards, you have to get to the puck and keep control of it. And he's standing there by the boards waiting for this dribbling pass to get to him. And, of course, by the time it gets to him, there's a guy all over him, and the puck doesn't leave the zone, and it winds up in the net. And, I mean, he played 7 minutes and 31 seconds, and he was on the ice for 4 goals against, and complicit in all 4. And that's just not good enough.
No, when I hope Chason's healthy, and
he's the one to win the battle of, if it's between those 2 guys for next game. Chason did a whole lot to help his cause.
It's not close. And I mean, when Kajula and Roddy come back, there's going to be some interesting battles for positions. So,
agreed.
I mean, Ty Roddy was just playing great, and I think, and Kajula was coming on. So there's going to be, and with Marody playing so well, I just don't see. I mean, Brodziak could be out of the lineup, and Cassian could be out of the lineup.
Brodziak's been struggling mightily. I've been very disappointed in a player I was really thinking was a decent addition, and I really am rooting for. But boy, he's had a tough first few games.
He's the Jason Garrison of forwards. I mean, he just doesn't look like he can play at the NHL level anymore. I mean, we've seen him now.
NHL plays, but his speed is he's lost that critical proverbial step.
I'd much rather see Jujhar Khaira as a 4th line center than him. It's good to have him like maybe as your 13th forward at this point, but he shouldn't be in the starting lineup when the team gets healthy. So, Bruce, what's your stat?
I had one. I'm going to go with Darnell Nurse's stat line again.
Okay.
I had no points in this one. -1 in 23 minutes and 45 seconds. 5 shots on net. 7 shot attempts, both leading the team. 6 block shots to lead the team. 2 hits. And then on the scoring chances side of the ledger, 7 for and 2 against. Unfortunately, the 2 against both wound up in the net.
Yes, there was a few. He looked bad on the one play. I'm just trying to think of the other. I think he looked fairly bad on both the goals.
And marginally on the Crosby goal on the winner, he might have given Strome a little bit more support there, given it was isolated against the forward. But
if you're a total stickler, you could blame. If you wanted to blame Darnell Nurse, you could. But really, I mean, it is one-on-one. There's 3 guys out there, and everyone's got to take a man.
Yeah, no, that's right. It's man-on-man hockey, and you wind up on a 2 forward, 1 defenseman where you got a forward against a forward. And when it's Sid against a tired Ryan Strome, who's just played a long shift and made a hell of a rush himself and got taken down in front. Like, I have some sympathy for Strome there. He was in a tough spot. And you know what? I'm liking his game. I thought he played a good game tonight. But
that third line, Bruce, has been, ever since Lucic and Strome got put together on the third line, they've been kicking butt. I mean, Milan Lucic looks like a man transformed. Suddenly he's moving his feet. He's hitting. I'm really liking Lucic's game since he moved to the third line. And I'm not just saying that because I've been calling him to move to the third line for about a year now.
Well, 6 shot attempts and 6 hits tonight for Lucic. I mean, that's the kind of stuff you want to see from a power forward. He's
looked fantastic. Like, honestly, I've really liked his game. So and Strome has done well as well. Nurse out of position on the second goal, or the third goal against. What was that? That's Cassian's turnover where
and
Nurse kind of gets caught behind the net a little bit. And that was not so much on Nurse. The second goal against was
going to make a play, I think, and his teammate doesn't make a play, and he's 100 miles from where he needs to be to cover off for a mistake.
Yeah, and that's a learned thing. All right, Bruce. Well, I was just looking. We'll know a lot more about the Oilers by Monday. 3 games coming up, and man, if they can get
schedule,
if they can get 3 points out of these 3 games, they've got 7 points in 7 games. If they can get 3 points in 3 games, 10 points after 10 games, I guess. That will be a pass mark.
The schedule.
Yeah.
And how brutal is the schedule? Holy moly. Nashville, Pittsburgh, Washington, Nashville in a row. Wow. I mean, you could, that's pretty close to being the 3 best teams in the league in 4 consecutive games.
They outchanced the Predators 7-3. They outchanced the Penguins. The difference in both games has been a little bit of goaltending and some bonehead mistakes. They did. It's not that Cam Talbot has been bad, but he needs to be better. And we're going to see Koskinen in one of these games. So we'll see
sooner or later. I mean, Shirley goes out and gets McLellan a $2.5 million backup goalie so that he can, have some options. And here we are 7 games into the season, and Koskinen hasn't played a minute. And I'm pretty sure Talbot's goal save percentage now is below 900 on the year after tonight, which is sub NHL average. And yet every game it's like, well, we got to go with our best. And our best is we only look as far as Cam. And I mean, I like Cam, but I like a 2 goalie system too. And I just don't understand where McLellan is so stubborn on that front. Maybe a game like tonight's will change his mind marginally, but he likes to go with his man, period. And
yes, this is a coach who's maybe been criticized now and then in the past for a wee bit of stubbornness. Bruce, let's leave it there tonight. Thanks for talking.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone.
And in the meantime, and in between times, this has been another edition of the Cult of Hockey podcast.